Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
So, my dear students, let us discuss the back exercises of this chapter, of this poem. The poet compares the world to a home. What does the poet suggest? So, why did the poet compare the world to a home? Like I told you, a home is a place which is full of love, affection, togetherness and oneness. And this is exactly what the poet wanted to see in the world as well. The poet wanted the world to be united, to be together, to be one, to be full of love. What does the world of the poet's dreams look like? So, what kind of a world did the poet describe in the dream? The poet described a world which was, it was occupied by people who were gathered in a room, who had signed the deed in which it was written that they are not going to fight with each other ever again. And after signing that deed, he even saw them cheering and praying to God. What did the poet dream about? Again, the poet dreamt about a room full of men and women signing a deed, signing an agreement in which it was written that the world is going to be peaceful and there's going to be no war in it at all. And what does it tell you about his innate desire? Innate means internal, something which is there within you. So what does it tell us about the desire, about the wishes of the poet? It tells us that the poet is only and only yearning for peace. The poet wants to live in peace. The poet wants to be as happy as the world can be. And this was the only wish that we have seen being reflected throughout the poem. What was the treaty that people had signed? Treaty means the agreement. So what agreement was signed by the people? The people had signed the agreement that the war is going to end and that there is going to be peace all across. How was it received by the masses? Masses means the people of the world. How did they take it? They were very happy. They were cheering and praying to God for this wonderful day. What are the words or phrases that suggest that the poet wants to put an end to the war? We've read the phrases like the white turtle doves. This is a symbol of peace. Then he also talks about the fact that there should be peace throughout. Let me just underline them for you. So, white turtle dove, it symbolizes peace. Then, peace throughout the land is another thing that he says. To end the war and put it in a deed is what it says. We will never fight again. What signifies peace? Then again it says, swords and guns and uniforms banned throughout the land. This represents peace. And again, to end the war and never fight again. Okay. Fill in the blanks with the words given below to complete the summary of the poem. So you are given with a few words. You have to use those words to complete the summary of the poem. The poet longs that the people of the world should live in peace and harmony. He would want that the people of the world are in complete dash with each other. So what with each other? Agreement with each other. He imagines a scene of dash where everyone will be holding hands and the world will resound with songs of peace. So what does he imagine? A scene of togetherness. The poet dreams of a world where there will be no war, In his dream, he saw people signing again over here. You can say, signing a document against the warfare. After signing the paper, they spread this message to the world. The world welcomed the news with loud cheers. And it was an answer to their, what was the answer? So it was because of their prayers. The poet longs to see the world impose a ban on guns, sword, and this was a strange dream that he had. So we've completed the summary of the poem. Okay. Now let us talk about some poetic devices of this poem. Okay. What are the snow white turtle doves a symbol of? Like I told you, the snow white turtle doves are a symbol of world peace. A metaphor is a figure of speech that describes a subject by asserting that it is on some point of comparison. So metaphor is a comparison, an indirect comparison which takes place between two things. You have to tell how a choir is a metaphor for a peaceful world. In the second stanza, the poet had compared the world, the peace of the world with a choir. How? When we sing a song in a choir, like I explained to you, we have to match the notes, we have to match the beats of everyone around us so that we are singing together. There is a feeling of being together. There is a feeling of being connected. And this is exactly the kind of feeling that the poet wants for the whole world. He feels that if the people are going to be connected and together, then there will be only peace around him. Okay. A refrain. Now, what is a refrain? A refrain is a line or a set of lines that we repeat because it has a very important message to convey. You have to pick out the refrain from the poem. Now, what is the poem, the refrain that is used in the poem? As you can see, which line is being repeated in the poem again and again? I'd like to, you can see, I'd like to, I'd like to, I'd like to. I'd like to. So what does this tell us? Why is the poet using this phrase, I'd like to, again and again? Because the poet is expressing his feelings. The poet is talking about his yearning for the world peace. The poet is talking about his internal desire to see the world being together and being united. And that is why he has used the phrase, I'd like to, as a refrain in the poem. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? And state the idea that it handles. Okay. Rhyme scheme of the poem. So what is the rhyme scheme? Now let us try to figure out the rhyme scheme of the poem. The first line, last word is home. Second line, last word is love. They are two different sounding words, so we give them a different alphabet. Bees. It does not rhyme with anything, so it is to be given a different alphabet. Dove. Now, what does dove rhyme with? With love, so we give it. So, what is the rhyme scheme of the first stanza? A, B, C, D. Second, sing. Let us give it the alphabet A. Harmony. Let us give it the alphabet B. Arms. It does not rhyme with anyone, so a different alphabet C. And company. The same alphabet as harmony. So again A, B, C, D. Next stanza. Once A, hand, B, hills, sea, land, B. So again A, B, C, D. And then next, dream is A, before is B, agreed is C, and deed is also C. So this is A, B, C, C. Somewhere is A, woman is B, said is C, and again is D. So there is no rhyming scheme in this stanza. Okay. Again, sealed is A, made is B, street is C, and indeed and sealed are rhyming, so A. So A, B, C, D. Once is A, hand is B, uniforms is C, and land is D. So it is again A, B, C, D. Dream is A, before is B, agreed is C, and before is again B. So this is A, B, C. So we have told you the rhyming scheme for every stanza. Okay, the next question says, imagery is a poetic device in which, you can actually imagine. It makes use of your physical senses. You are bound to, you are forced to imagine a lot of things which are being talked about in the poem. So here, obviously in this poem also imagery is used. The whole poem is nothing but an imagery, because the poet is talking about peace. The poet is talking about the people standing together, holding hand in hand. The poet is talking about a room in which all the people are signing the document and then cheering on the streets, praying to God, banning the swords and guns. So the whole poem is an imagery in case. Whenever the poet has a dream, he calls it strangest. Why? Why did the poet call his dreams to be strange? Because he knew that the dream is not going to come true. He knows that there would never be such a time when the whole world will agree to sign a deed and will decide to put an end to the war. So this is something which is unimaginable by the poet. Okay, complete the table. Two things, visual imagery and oral images. Something that can be seen by us, something that can be heard by us. Examples are given. Growing apple trees and honeybees is something that can be seen. Singing in perfect harmony can be seen by you. Now again, what can be seen by you? Holding hand or standing hand in hand. And what can be heard by us? We can hear the cheering. Cheering in the street can be heard. What else can be seen by you? Men and women signing the papers. And what can be heard by you? You can hear the people singing in a choir, singing in harmony. The poem is the poet's yearning for peace. Yearning means an internal and deep desire. Indeed, the poem is the poet's yearning for peace, because throughout the poem, the poet has simply emphasized on the fact how he wants the earth to be together, how he wants the earth to be united, citing different examples like snow white turtle doves, choir signing a deed, all the men and women echoing the same sound, cheering for this, banning the guns, swords, and uniforms. All these things symbolize only and only the poet's deep desire to have the world peace. Okay. Alright, next. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. How does the poet wish to see the people? He wished to see the people standing hand in hand. What does the poet wish to hear? The poet wishes to hear the people speaking the same thing throughout the land. The people calling for peace. The people asking for peace. What is the poet's vision for the world? Vision. What does the poet want the world to have? The poet wants to have the world to have peace. Rhyming scheme, as we've discussed the rhyming scheme for each of the stanzas earlier, but still I will tell you. So it is A, B, C, B. So this is A, B, C, and B. Last night I had the strangest dream I'd never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to end war and put it in a deed. What was the poet's dream? What did the poet dream about? The poet dreamt the world signing a deed for peace. Why does the poet call it strange? Because he knows that this dream can never come true in reality. Why do you think the poet has repeated the word dream thrice in the stanza? Why did he talk? Because dream is something that can never take place in reality, and he is again and again emphasizing on the fact that what he wants is something which cannot change into real, and therefore he has used the word dream so many times. What does the poet long for? The poet longs for peace. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and swords and guns and uniforms banned throughout the land. How does the poet want to see the world? Again, standing hand in hand. What does standing hand in hand mean? The world being together, united. And what should be banned and why? Swords, guns, and uniforms, which are all the symbols of war. These things should be banned because we don't need them when we have peace. And what do swords, guns, and uniforms suggest? Like I told you, they suggest war. They suggest the fight, the mental imbalance that a person has in his life. And with this, my dear students, we come to the end of this poem. So this poem has been explained to you very well. Every line, every stanza has been explained. We discussed with you the back exercises, the poetic devices, and I very well hope that the poem is clear to you. I shall see you all now in my next lecture.